Hey, David Wong. Tutti fucking fruity.
The Cinema Chop Shop.
What's going on, everybody? It's David from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you see a Patreon account. If you click it, you can become a member. All you got to do is try to recommend movies and music and trailers for me to react to, so click that damn link. Now, with that being said, I'm here today with Senor Del Boy to deliver some horror news. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them where to find you. Go ahead.
Hello. Del Boy, the Movie Mash. Check it out. It's on YouTube somewhere. I'm sure you put a link in and subscribe. And make sure you subscribe to this guy too. I'm about to find out some horror news that I have no idea what to say. So let's see. It's good.
Yeah, this should be fun because a lot of the shit you don't know. Like I just randomly was like, "Hey, make a video with me." He was like, "Sure." So why not? So first item of business: M3GAN 2.0 gets pushed. It was originally stated to come out on January 17th of 2025, but now it is pushed to May 16th of 2025. The same team is being brought behind it, so the same director, the writer, producer, so on and so forth. Same team is behind it, but it's getting pushed further out a couple of months. How do we feel about this news, Senor Del Boy?
Hold on, I didn't even know. So hold on. So it was supposed to come out in January.
It was supposed to come out in January, just like the other M3GAN movie.
I didn't know. So it's all news. It's all surprise to me. I
knew January of next year. Of next year.
I didn't know.
Well,
I mean, it was coming out January next year.
Yeah, January next year, not this year.
It's only been a year since the other one. All right. Woo! Great news. No, it don't. You know what? If it was closer to the time of January, it may make me feel different. But it's so long away now. I don't care really that much. You know.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, I feel like they were trying to see. Here's the thing: M3GAN broke that whole January curse thing, like how they say movies that are dropped in January are cursed and they don't make any money. M3GAN made a shit ton of money, so that should avoided that curse like the plague. And on top of that, it was a horror movie, which is even more rare to make money in January. So I kind of was like, maybe they were trying to like relive that magic, but them pushing it out to me isn't a bad idea. Now, for food for thought, there has been rumblings that M3GAN was trying to get a crossover with Chucky. Could this possibly have something to do with them maybe working something out behind the scenes, trying to get some rights? No, you don't think so? No.
Too soon. You have more rumors about it too. Also, if you're a businessman, you're a company. Who is it? What company is it again?
Blumhouse.
All right. Really and truly, the best time. You're saying it's coming out in, did you say April?
May,
right. Really, like I know January curse and all that, and it did well, but really and truly, you probably want it in a better slot, a time slot, and May it sounds a bit better. Anything but January. You know, January is an option, but for me, I'd be still. You know what? We're lucky there. Maybe not the next time. Let's get it in a summertime holiday time thing going. It's a better time.
But this movie was so well received. Would it have been affected by the bad timing?
Maybe not, but it's still maybe not. But for me, it's still as a businessman, which I'm not. I still would prefer if I could get it in that. It's just kind of it's better timing in general. Especially, it could have been just a one-off. I mean, I actually thought M3GAN was good anyway, but it could have been just a one-off that January. I wouldn't want to take the chance. If I had to, I'd do it. But if I could choose May, 100% go with that, just for a safer bet. That's all. Maybe it's
but here's the thing: is it really a safer bet? Because here's the thing: a lot of people avoid putting out movies in January because of that hypothetical curse, right? So that means M3GAN doesn't have much competition. By pushing it to May, to a more intriguing date or a more crowd-friendly date, you run the risk of possibly colliding with big budget blockbusters.
It's true. Yeah, you got a point there, but I still think it's still just a safer time. I mean, depending on what's coming out, but I still think it's a safer time to put out something, and it's already built its audience. And now you probably would get a big audience in January for it, but I think you probably get more in May. But again, it's just an opinion. I could be completely wrong. I just know that I feel safer in May. But going, as long as no other horror movies are coming out the week before or the week after, I'd be a bit worried then. But you know what? It done so good. I think the audience will still go and see it, even if it was January. But I just think the audience will be bigger in May.
Sounds good. All right, second item of business. I Know What You Did Last Summer remake in development. Jennifer Catlin Robinson is directing. The script is written by Leah McKendrick. The script is said to contain Easter eggs from the first film, including the iconic phrase, "What are you waiting for?" Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Pryce Jr. are in talks to return, although Freddie has denied being contacted for the contract. So this is a legacy sequel, right? It's supposed to take place after the events of I Know What You Did Last Summer. It is supposed to contain some of the original cast. Think Scream, think Candyman, think, I guess, Halloween, think Exorcist, so on and so forth, right? We've been seeing this trend of legacy sequels. Do we think that I Know What You Did Last Summer has the type of following to make people actually give a fuck? What do you think?
First of all, I think it does. Okay. It seems to be a cult classic with people. I mean, it's a film that just came out on the back of Scream, kind of like Scream, and it just wasn't as good as Scream. In fact, I didn't care for it. I don't care. I don't hate it. It ain't something I return to. I return to Scream more times than that. Legacy, more interesting instead of a remake, because there's so many of them already that you're just rehashing the same thing. But at least if you're going to rehash it, as long as it's already part of a sequel with the same characters or some kind of continuity in it, I can live with that. But
and we had that TV show that we tried to watch too, and we didn't like it.
I was going to say I hated that. It was awful, but it's just that I wasn't interested. I just find it it's just a cheap version of Scream. But
it's based off a book, but it's not necessarily a cheap. Okay, look. I Know What You Did Last Summer is based off of a very popular book, although it was changed drastically from what I hear. Now, me personally, I Know What You Did Last Summer is a classic to me, but as a film, it's not really that good, right? It's not that good. I remember the sequel being way more bloody and I think entertaining for the fact of the kills, but I've always liked the character of the fisherman. I think his name is Ben Willis. I've always liked the character. I thought it was cool. Him wearing a little outfit, walking around with the hook. I Know What You Did Last Summer thing. It was always fun for me. So as long as they kind of, I think all they have to do is just give me characters that are remotely interesting, entertain me with some gruesome kills, and I'll be all for it. That's all you got to do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
I watch it, but I just don't care. But the only thing that would get me interested is the legacy sequel, because I prefer them to remakes. I just do. I like to see the old characters coming back, what they've done in all this time, and the effects of what happened in the instead of redoing it. But that's for me. I don't care, but I do think it has a good following. As people may know or not, I have a couple of movie groups on Facebook. So one is Movie Mash, one is Horror Lockdown. And I do see these come up quite often, What You Did Last Summer. It's not just a one and done movie or franchise. It comes up regular. People do like it. I do think there's a following. And I do think, look, they even fought enough to make a TV show. So there's something there in it. I think it'll do okay. Don't know how well. It depends on how good the story is, but I think it'll do all right. I don't care.
All right. Well, I'm gonna watch it, but hopefully it's good. Next item of business. I think you're gonna like this one. Christopher Nolan wants to make a horror movie.
I heard, yeah.
Christopher Nolan. Now, this was taken from an interview. I think this is what Nolan said. I think horror films are very interesting because they depend on very climactic devices or cinematic devices. It really is about a visceral response to things, and at some point. I love to make a horror movie, but I think a really good horror film requires a really exceptional idea. And those are a few and far between. So I haven't found a story that lends itself to that. But I think it's a very interesting genre from a cinematic point of view. It's also one of the few genres where the studios make a lot of these films. And there are films that have a lot of bleakness a lot of abstraction. They have a lot of qualities that Hollywood is generally really resistant to putting in the films. But that's a genre where it's allowable. This is what Nolan said. So it seems like Nolan's interested in doing a horror movie, but the right idea has to come across this table. I think that could we possibly I see this is my idea. I see Nolan taking a directorial job from A24 or Neon over any big budget studio based off of these words. What do you think?
I think, yeah, I do. But again, he has contract. Isn't he controversy with them? Is it Universal?
I'm not. Is he's like an exclusive? Your voice sounds really low, by the way.
All right. So, well, I don't know. All I know is that I don't think it would matter to him. I feel like he's a director, he's an artist, and if he has a vision of if he sees a story and he has a vision, I don't think he really cares of who it would be, even if it was A24 to do it. I'm not reading into this too much until I see more about this, because people say things all the time and it don't. I mean, you know, he wanted to direct the James Bond movie as well recently, and he said he'll do James Bond if he has complete control of the whole character and the story. And the producer says no chance. But,
hell no, they're not gonna say that.
More into. So let's see a production date or a story come up. Directors say things all the time, and I'm sure there is merit to it. But
like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, there's merit, but it doesn't mean it will happen. Until I see more about it, I'll get more excited then. But if he did, I would be really interested in seeing it. If he
hell
did
yeah,
do
dude, that would be such a cinematic horror movie. Like,
that's what I mean. It'd be epic, possibly. You know?
I think that he could honestly do something like Hitchcock-esque. I think if he does a film, it would have to be like Hitchcock. Could you imagine Nolan directing a remake to Psycho from like a different perspective?
Yeah,
I think it'll be good. But anyway, so look,
stuff and that kind of thing he does like. I look again until I see more about this. It's just something he's throwing out there. That's it. You know.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, we've seen this in Hollywood before. Quentin Tarantino talked about his last film being a horror movie. You know, we have these directors that don't typically talk about horror or the horror genre, say that they want to dibble and dabble in it. But I think that Nolan definitely would be a great director for a horror movie, specifically because what we saw him do with I was about to say Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger's Joker. Right, a lot of the cinematic moments in that movie, a lot of the angles, a lot of just the way that he shot that character added more depth to it, added more menacingness to it, added more to his character. So I would love to see a horror movie directed by Nolan, but I just wanted to bring that to the table in case you guys were interested. Next item of business: Smile 2 gets a release date and a casting update. The Casper Parker Finn sequel to almost dropped my damn laptop. See, that news was so epic. The Castle Parker Finn sequel, Smile 2, continues to grow. A Deadline reports that Raul Castillo from Army of the Dead and Miles Gutierrez Riley, the Wilds, have signed on. Also, Cal Gallner from the original Smile, Rosemary DeWitt from The Staircase, Gabe from The White Lotus, Dylan Galula from Dream Scenario, and Naomi Scott from Power Rangers also star. I have no clue who the fuck any of these people are. Smile 2 is scheduled to hit theaters in October 18th of this year. Damn, this year? Whew. I don't think that movie's going to be very good. Golly. This year? I thought the other one was all right. I'm not going to lie to you. I was entertained. It wasn't a horrible movie.
It wasn't terrible. I just didn't get the hype.
Yeah.
That's all. I watched it. I was underwhelmed, and I thought some of the bits at the end was okay, but I thought it dragged. So I don't care about the second one. I watched it, but you never know.
I mean, the only reason this movie is getting made because the first movie made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, it did really well, extremely well.
It did. It made
a lot of horror movies in general. Like, really did, putting it out there. But it's just. You know what? I'm glad everyone else liked it. I'm glad that it's done well. I'm glad they're doing a sequel, but I don't care. I'm sounding like I don't care about a lot of shit tonight.
Yeah, I know, man. You have no empathy for this for the horror, man.
Yeah, no, it's just I don't, just didn't. I think we did a video on Smile. Didn't love it.
Mm. It was
Everyone
look.
raved.
It was an all right movie. Does it deserve a sequel? Not in my opinion, but at the same time, this is where we're at. Any movie that makes remotely any money automatically gets greenlit for a sequel. The sequel is usually worse than the fucking original. I mean, and then look, they're announcing these cast members in this movie as if these are big names. I don't know none of these people at all, like except for the person that was in Power Rangers, and I'm not even sure who the fuck she was. But the fact that it's getting released this year in October shows me that they put a little money into it. It's not going to take them long to film it. It's a rush job, and it's just basically, oh, we're just trying to get something out there because we're striking while the iron's hot. The other movie did well.
Yeah.
We're trying to hurry up and pick up where the last one left off at. But I don't know. I'm not really too enthusiastic about it either. It's whatever. It's definitely something I could wait to stream or watch for free online or something, but it's not. I don't think it's something that I'm going to want to pay money for. Moving on. A couple of months ago, there was announced that David Gordon Green walked away from The Exorcist Deceiver, the sequel to The Exorcist Believer. Now the reason why I'm bringing this up is because now we supposedly have a reason why he walked away. Apparently, Green is currently busy with Ben Stiller's movie, The Nutcracker, and as well as the fourth season of HBO comedy series, The Righteous Gemstones. So supposedly, allegedly, that the reason he walked away from directing the movie for right now is because he has other contractual agreements. Are we believing this or nah?
I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Like, it just.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's
music about anyway, but it's just. You think so? Yeah.
I think it's bullshit. I think that he walked away because that film got destroyed, and he thinks that by taking his name off of the director, that is going to make people more open to seeing it because his name has become synonymous with like bad films, and especially in horror franchise, it's become synonymous with bad horror films. And he thinks that by taking his name off of the director role, that it'll give the sequel a chance to shine. But here's the problem. This is where the problem lies. If he's writing the movie, it's still going to be bad because that's what's wrong with the movie. The movie wasn't terrible because he was the director. It was terrible because he was the writer, and he's a terrible fucking writer. So that's what we need to be worried about. Like, people are getting, oh yeah, thank God that he left. He walked away. Cool, we can get another director, and maybe this movie will have a chance to breathe now. That's not the case. If he's still writing the sequel, which most likely he is, because again, this is his trilogy. All that him walking away doesn't matter. Whoever's in the director's seat does not matter.
No, I agree with you, mate. Yeah, because the writing is a big part of it. The director can only do what the writing says. It's just. I will say though, I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed it, and I think it's one of the better exorcism movies that there has been since The Exorcist. There's not many good ones. I think that the fact of the matter is that
your camera turned. All right, because Derek was viciously kicked off by Derek Gordon Green's Ghost, I'm going to continue this thought. The Exorcist Believer wasn't a bad movie, right? It was a terrible movie for a movie about an exorcism. If we're just watching a movie about exorcism, hey, it's cool. It's all right. But when you get into the nitty gritty and you see it as an Exorcist sequel, that's when the movie starts to get a little bit diluted. This is when we start to see the problems start to sprout, because it really just felt like a movie where they threw characters in from the original film and they wanted you to be like, oh, and go crazy for it. But the problem was that the movie wasn't written well. And the third act was terrible. Although the two actresses, in my opinion, the two girls that were possessed, they did a freaking amazing job. The movie
I'm just
still
saying
fell
is that
flat.
I don't think he should be ashamed of anything he's done, because he had a lot to live up to. It wasn't going to work, and all I'm saying is that taking your name off and changing all that changes nothing. You might as well just go with it now. Didn't it make a lot of money though?
It made a very good amount of money. It did well in the box office.
Right. Well, as I say, So I don't know what the problem is. I really just don't know what his problem is. It's just he might as well just get on with it. I mean, taking your name off as director but still being the writer, it changes nothing really. I mean, director has vision. He changes things up a little bit, and obviously that comes through. But the writing is still the story. So, bottom line, just go with it. This is, just go with it. So I don't see the point of changing up and still being the writer because it didn't do well. And because how is it going to do well? Do you see what he had to live up to from the first one? It was never going to live up to that.
I was never going to do that.
No, and what can you do with the Exorcist films or Possession? It's been done to death, and he did change it a little bit, and I did like the characters, So he's done the best he could, and I think he should just go on with. That's all I'm saying.
You flipped again. Hopefully, this shit don't cause it to go berserk.
One eternity later.
All right, cool. So we got Dill for as long as the battery lasts. So let's start here and try to get through this. All right, so these are some films that are horror franchises that are apparently have sequels on the way. Let me know if you give a fuck about any of these. We got Texas Chainsaw Massacre apparently getting a sequel. We have an Evil Dead spinoff, which has absolutely nothing to do with Ash, absolutely nothing to do with Evil Dead Rises. It's his own shit. We have Saw 11 supposedly coming out this year. We have a Prey sequel or another Prey movie, which has another female lead. We have Alien Romulus coming out. We have 28 years later. We have Beetlejuice, which is a sequel to Beetlejuice from the 90s. We have The Conjuring 4 on its way, and then we have which rumors have that the Nun or Valak is going to be the final boss, and then we have The First Omen on the way. Are any of these movies piquing your interest?
Most of them. Yeah. First of all, Alien Romulus, right? First of all, as you know, I like aliens, but I feel like I'm kind of in two minds with it. One, I'm like, all right, where are we going with this? And two, after Prey, I'm thinking maybe they know what they're doing. Saw 11. Part of me is like, how much more can they do? But then they did such a good job in the last one. I'm like, okay, maybe. You never know. They might think of something. And then what was the other one? Beetlejuice 2. I've got a bad feeling about it. I don't know why. As much as I want to see it.
Me too. I feel like the movie's gonna suck, but I got my fingers crossed.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think Tim Burton hasn't done nothing really good in a long time. I don't know.
He was like a consultant or something on Wednesday, I think.
Sorry?
He did something with Wednesday.
Oh, I didn't watch that. Yeah, but I heard everyone seems to like it. I don't know. But as I say, like, I don't know. We'll see. And then what was the other one? Conjuring 4. I like 1 and 2.
I like 1. 2 was fucking horrible. 3 was
I like, obviously 2 is made near my house. But as I say, I just, and I like the characters. And they did some good scares. They did okay in the third in parts, but it just made no sense. I don't know if they're milking the franchise, but I still would be interested in seeing it. What else did you have there?
The First Omen.
Need I say any more? I am, and I
love the fucking Omen.
I am, but I'm nervous too. It's like there's been no hype. I'm hoping it's one of those sleeper things that come out and just blows everyone away. But trailer looked alright. There's no hype. There's no marketing. Nobody knows about this film. Nobody. It's like it doesn't exist. So we'll see about that. And then
28 years later.
Oh yeah, there's something. I don't know. You see, with the zombie franchise has been destroyed. It's just saturated. But it is one of the big ones that came out when it all started. So maybe. And if it's set in London, I'll be happy about that. But I'm sure it'll be in Los Angeles, where you are.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, another one.
Yeah. I mean, look. Did you say it was a sequel?
I think it's a sequel. I don't know. They just said another. They said there's another Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels on the way.
A sequel to the last one?
I don't know. There's no details about it. They just said
all right.
Another
I find it. Even though I thought the last one wasn't bad, I find it hard to get excited about something because there's only so much you can do with that, and I still watch it and give it a try, but it's just.
It sucks because that remake was fucking good. That remake that came out in the early 2000s. That's
Oh
underrated.
yeah. Jessica Biel, is it?
Yeah, that shit's underrated. That's a good one.
That was good, and the last one that came out on Netflix a couple of years ago, I actually enjoyed it. I had fun with it, because I knew it was going to
Yeah, the
be what it
characters
was.
suck, but the kills were awesome.
Yeah, so
It's like
hopefully they
how
do.
Halloween Kills was. Like Halloween Kills is a stupid movie, but the kills were awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So hopefully, maybe, but are they just kind of going on with
Milking
the
it.
name and hopefully they make money because of the
Oh, they're
name?
definitely
But
milking the shit out of it. Evil
no,
Dead spinoff. Evil Dead spinoff.
yeah,
Not having Ash.
definitely. Yes, I'm interested. The last one was good, so I've got faith in them. I mean, even the remake was really good of
Oh, the
the
remake was
original.
fun. The remake, but not really a remake, I guess.
Yeah, but even that last one was different. It had its own thing. I thought it was good. The kills are good. It was gory. I liked it. So I think they know what they're doing. Hopefully.
All right, so I'm gonna
So
go down the list real quick. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, don't care. They haven't shown me enough of anything good for me to give a shit. Evil Dead spinoff. I mean, I've always felt that this franchise had the potential to spin off and do its own thing. Have they yet? There, it seems like they're barely getting ready to do so right now. Saw 11. I mean, if we're following Tobin Bell, cool. But at the same time, even though the last Saw movie, Saw 10, was interesting and fun to watch, it wasn't nothing special. And at this time, it really feels like a milk job. Prey sequel, and they emphasize the fact that the lead is going to be a female. I don't know why they felt the need to do that to emphasize that, but sure, whatever. I mean, the last Prey movie was dope as shit. It was fun, so we'll run with that. Alien Romulus. I mean, I'm down to watch it, but at the same time, with Prometheus and all these other movies that came out, they kind of just didn't do what they were supposed to do. 28 years later, super hyped about that. I want to see it. We haven't seen like a really good zombie movie in a while, so it'll be nice to hopefully see one. Beetlejuice. I have my hopes up for it, but I'm not expecting anything magnificent because at the same time, something deep down in me tells me that this movie is probably going to suck. The Conjuring 4, don't care about it because anything after The Conjuring 1 to me sucked. The First Omen, that's probably going to suck. I have a weird feeling that it's going to be like Pet Cemetery. What is it, Bloodline, or what was it called? The recent one that just came out. I ain't seen it either. I haven't seen it either. But the fact that nobody knows about that shit, nobody talks about it, nobody gives a shit about it, I feel like that's where the Omen
doesn't exist. Even Omen fans don't know about it. So it's like fucking hell.
All right, so I want to just exit this video with one last thing: horror movies to keep an eye out for. So, I mean, if you have some, you could chime in, or if you have questions about any of these movies I'm about to name, go ahead and chime in. Late Night with the Devil, which is going to come out on Shudder eventually. That shit looks dope as fuck. If you haven't seen the trailer, there's a teaser trailer up. That shit looks interesting as hell. Then, in a Violent Nature, this movie was raved about, and it's also coming out on Shudder. Apparently, it's a slasher movie like none other. I mean, they said that this is a slasher movie from a different perspective, is a different take on it, and it's super original. So I can't wait to see that. A Quiet Place Day One. I mean, Lupita Nyong'o, old boy from freaking Never Back Down. I mean, that's automatically a W for me. That's the Quiet Place. Huh?
Dijon Huutu.
Yeah, that guy. He was also in Gladiator. But to me, the Quiet Place has probably been one of the most consistent quasi horror franchises around. Then you have Imaginary, which I feel like it has potential. And then Abigail, which also has potential. It kind of feels very M3GAN-ish, if you guys get that vibe. And then also we have Nosferatu starring my boy fucking Green Goblin and shit. And also one of the fucking It brothers.
I didn't realize, but the original Nosferatu is 102 years old.
Yeah, then they made a sequel in the 80s, I think, or something like that.
I didn't know it was that old. I really didn't.
Yeah, dude, that's a shit came out in like the 1920s.
Yeah.
But yeah, any movies on that list? Have you ever heard of any of the movies on that list?
It's just the Nosferatu.
So you never Imaginary and Abigail got trailers.
Sorry?
Abigail and Imaginary have trailers. Those are them PG-13 horrors, though. Those are PG-13 horrors. I'm just letting you know that now. Abigail straight up feels like it's gonna be M3GAN, and so does Imaginary feels like it's gonna feel like a M3GAN type movie as well too.
Okay. Well, I haven't heard. Check him out though.
Listen, In a violent nature has like a teaser trailer kind of thing going on. That shit looks dope. And then it's not much going on, but I just feel like alone just based off of the vibe that it's giving me, I really feel like that movie's gonna live up to its hype. Also, Late Night with the Devil, dude, that shit looks interesting as hell. It's like a movie about this talk show host that's having a conversation with somebody that claims to be the devil, and then like some crazy like demonic stuff starts to happen. It looks dope as hell.
Okay.
So imagine like Jay Leno or some talk show host like talking with somebody that claims to be possessed by the devil. Like that shit'll be crazy, right?
Yeah, might be interesting.
Those are two movies that Shudder was able to grab, but I mean, those are the only ones that stood out to me. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys enjoy any of this horror news that you just heard right now? Do you care about any of that stuff? What about the movies that are the franchise movies that are getting sequels? Do you care about any of those? What about these horror movies that I'm looking forward to? Are they on your list to look forward to? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom. Don't forget to go into the description of this video, find your link to Movie Mash Reviews, and then click and subscribe to this guy, because and then tell him to make sure that his phone is charged next time. Because now I got to edit all that stuff out. But anyway, that's all I got, though. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, and we will see you guys next time. You are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys are a magnificent day, and adios, homies.
See ya.
I want to play a game. Subscribe now. The choice is yours. You're now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop.